سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير.
There are places that impress you because of their size, and then there are places that make you stop and simply look. In the heart of Abu Dhabi stands one of the most remarkable religious and architectural landmarks in the United Arab Emirates, the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. With its brilliant white marble, enormous domes, reflective pools, and intricate Islamic patterns, the mosque almost seems to glow beneath the Abu Dhabi sun. But behind all of this beauty is a story about faith, architecture, craftsmanship, and a vision to bring cultures together. This is the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. The mosque was named after Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the founding father of the United Arab Emirates. He envisioned a place that would not only serve as a mosque, but also as a symbol of Islamic culture, openness, and unity. Construction began in 1996. More than a decade later, the mosque officially opened its doors in December 2007. And the result was extraordinary. The building combines architectural influences from different parts of the Islamic world, particularly Moroccan and Mughal traditions, while incorporating craftsmanship and materials from countries around the globe. In fact, materials for the mosque were sourced from places including Italy, Germany, India, China, Morocco, Turkey, Greece, and several other countries. The result is more than a single architectural style. It is a meeting point of cultures. Perhaps the first thing you notice is the color. White, almost everywhere. The mosque is covered in brilliant white marble, creating the impression that the entire complex is reflecting the sunlight. But this isn't simply about appearance. The white surfaces create a sense of calm and purity, while the enormous scale of the building gives it a feeling of grandeur. And as you walk around the mosque, the marble begins to interact with another element, water. Long reflective pools surround parts of the complex, creating almost perfect mirror images of the architecture. The domes, columns, and arches appear again in the water. For a moment, it becomes difficult to tell where the building ends and its reflection begins. The Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque contains 82 domes. The largest rises above the main prayer hall. It measures approximately 32.6 meters in diameter and reaches around 84 meters in height. Look closely at the domes and you'll notice something else. They aren't simply white. Their surfaces are decorated with intricate details, while their interiors feature traditional Moroccan-inspired artwork and Arabic calligraphy. And then there are the 4 minarets. Each rises approximately 106 meters above the ground. Together, the domes and minarets create the unmistakable silhouette of the mosque, a silhouette that has become one of the defining images of Abu Dhabi. At the center of the complex is the enormous courtyard, and this is where the scale of the craftsmanship becomes difficult to comprehend. The courtyard contains one of the world's largest marble mosaic artworks, floral patterns spread across the white surface in enormous compositions. Flowers, leaves, and vines seem to grow across the floor. The artwork was created using different types and colors of marble, with Italian artisans contributing to the craftsmanship. And once again, the idea is not simply decoration. Throughout the mosque, floral motifs connect the architecture with nature. More than 1,000 columns surround the mosque. Many are decorated with colorful floral patterns and inlaid stones. Look closely and you can find flowers such as roses, lilies, and other botanical forms incorporated into the design. The columns also demonstrate one of the most fascinating characteristics of the mosque: symmetry. Look to one side, then to the other. So much of the architecture is mirrored around a central axis. Nothing feels accidental. Every line, every arch, and every repeated pattern contributes to a carefully controlled sense of balance. And then you enter the main prayer hall. The atmosphere changes immediately. The bright exterior gives way to a quieter, more intimate space. The main prayer hall can accommodate approximately 7,800 worshippers. But two elements immediately capture your attention. Look up. Suspended from the ceiling is one of the mosque's enormous chandeliers. There are 7 crystal chandeliers throughout the mosque. The largest is inspired by the date palm, one of the most important symbols of life and prosperity in the region. It is covered with 24-karat gold and decorated with Swarovski crystals, and the numbers are extraordinary. But perhaps the most extraordinary detail is beneath your feet. The main prayer hall contains what was recognized by Guinness World Records in 2007 as the world's largest hand-knotted carpet. It covers approximately 5,400 square meters. It weighs around 35 tons, and it was created by approximately 1,200 artisans. The carpet was produced in 9 separate pieces before being transported to Abu Dhabi and assembled inside the mosque. Look closely at its design. The floral patterns correspond with the architecture above. The chandelier designs, the carpet, the walls, and the surrounding decorative elements were all designed to interact with one another. The result is an enormous composition where the ceiling and the floor almost seem to speak to each other. But perhaps the most interesting thing about the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque isn't a number. It isn't the size of the carpet, or the height of the domes, or the millions of crystals inside the chandeliers. It is the idea behind the building. The mosque was created as a place of worship, but also as a place where people from different backgrounds can experience Islamic art, architecture, and culture. But there is something about experiencing the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque during Ramadan that photographs can never quite capture. As the sun begins to disappear over Abu Dhabi, the atmosphere changes. The mosque becomes quieter, yet somehow more alive. People arrive with families and friends. Some come to pray, others to break their fast, while thousands gather in an atmosphere that feels both peaceful and deeply communal. The white marble begins to take on the warm colors of the evening light. The reflections in the pools become softer, and as the call to prayer echoes through the complex, the enormous architecture suddenly feels much more intimate. During Ramadan, the mosque isn't simply something you look at, it is something you experience. There is a sense of stillness in the middle of a city that is otherwise constantly moving. People from different countries, cultures, and backgrounds stand together in the same place, sharing the same moment. And perhaps that is when the meaning behind the mosque becomes clearest. Beyond the marble, the chandeliers, and the incredible craftsmanship, this is a place built around faith, reflection, and bringing people together. As darkness falls, the mosque takes on another character. The white marble glows beneath the evening sky, the pools mirror the illuminated domes, and the sounds of prayer and conversation move gently through the courtyard. For me, this was one of the most memorable parts of visiting Abu Dhabi, not simply seeing one of the world's most beautiful mosques, but experiencing it at a time when the entire city seemed to slow down for a moment. Ramadan gave this place something that architecture alone could never create: an atmosphere. a feeling of peace, togetherness, and reflection. And standing there as the evening unfolded, it was easy to understand why the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque has become much more than a landmark. It has become a place that people come to feel.
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله كل آمن بالله وملائكته بين أحد من رسله فقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير لا يكلف الله